Largo halfway through for 10:30 this evening. Somewhere to start, please. Mike?
Hi Pep, good afternoon. FA Cup semi-final, the FA Cup, something you've only won once. How much hunger is there to win it again and get to the final again?
Hopefully we can have it. Last season we arrived here in these stages last 3 or 4 years, I don't remember. And always we don't perform well. And one reason for the fatigue, because still we have it, and this season is not an exception. The adrenaline, the quarterfinal Champions League is so demanding. Always we play away, the travel and recoveries. Now we have to travel to London again. So, and I had the feeling every season that we were not physically ready. Hopefully we can be mentally, and the desire to to play a final the FA Cup, because always is the final in this important competition.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a bit more about Champions League quarter-final on Wednesday, massive Premier League game on Wednesday against Arsenal to come. So how tough will Sheffield United be as a game in itself, but also the opponents this time are perhaps not as tough as Liverpool for last season, for example?
No, I don't have that feel, but I have that feeling. Sheffield, when I saw it yesterday the afternoon when we land from Munich, and this morning is quite similar, that the way they play, that Chris Wilder in Sheffield that make an incredible first season. So there are a lot of patterns. I remember a lot what they have done. They are, I think, 1 game away or 2 games away to be promoted for the Premier League next season. So already it's done. So it will be an extremely difficult game tomorrow. This is my feeling that I have today, for the reasons I said before, and for the quality of the opponent, because it's really good in the set pieces, it's really good in the build-up and link in the channels, and the link especially with McBurney, and they are so aggressive in the duels. So this is the feeling I have today. We have to be there, absolutely, at 4:45 to deserve to be in the final.
2 players that can't play for Sheffield United, Tommy Doyle, James McAtee, both having seemingly good seasons. How much are you able to follow their progress? And I know they can't play tomorrow, but are you already thinking about next season with them?
Well, it's really good. Tommy Doyle, since the beginning, played. Maka, in the beginning, struggled a little bit, but since already many months, is already playing a lot of games. So I think Championship is a good test to prove yourself, and we are incredible delight. Unfortunately, they cannot play. We will have love, because at the end we loan players to get experience, and what's better experience for Manchester City benefits to play FA Cup semi-final against a team on Premier League will be incredible for his development. But the rule is a rule, and unfortunately they cannot play.
Pep, do you have already an idea of the lineup? Will you have to change it because of the demands around this game as well?
I have to see, I have to smell, I have to talk, I have to see how the players they feel today. So after the game in the locker room, they couldn't even celebrate it for the disaster they are, because we could not have more sequences of passes in Munich that help us to rest with the ball, and we didn't rest much with the ball, and they ran a lot, and that was difficult. And in the previous seasons, I rotate a lot, and it was not good. And I have to think about it. I have many doubts for tomorrow about the lineup. I have to see the training session today and talk with many of them, or a few of them, and see what is my feeling. Of course, they are going to deny me, going to tell me, I want to play. That's for sure. It's difficult to find a player saying I don't want to play. But in the same time, we have to be sure that the people are in minimal conditions. It's not just about, this game is because we come from a lot of games every 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, 4 days, with a lot of games, and knowing that if we lose, we are out, and he has the fatigue, mentally the fatigue always is big. So we have to see. I have to wait.
And about the mental fatigue, when people say that every game is a final from now on, and does that help the focus, or that could be an extra layer of stress?
No, but and the other side is it's amazing to be here and knowing that we can reach a final, and when you this desire to still be in there, your fatigue convert in a positive way in extra energy. So the energy that we don't have right now for the fatigue that many games, and especially the last game against Munich, always will immediately convert in something positive when you have still the desire to reach the final and still being there for another, fight every game to be there. So the human being has the incredible ability to regenerate if your mind is a positive, and this always they have to discover today. You have to put in their mind that how is your desire, go there because by semi-finals, because it's not important enough, like it's Champions League or next game against Arsenal, and after that it's better don't travel. It's better stay here because what we have done in the past last 3-4 years in the FA Cup semi-finals is better who have say Manchester, because you can lose, but not the way we lose. Not even we were there. And part I understand, but you have to be the ability and the energy to swap the negative things in a positive way.
Yeah. Hi, Pep. How is Nathan Ake?
I don't know. He's not ready for tomorrow, but I don't know how is the damage. So I think this morning, this afternoon, they made the final test or the test to know exactly what he has.
Okay. And how's Phil Foden progressing? Is he ready to start, perhaps, this weekend?
It was in the bench in Munich after 2 training sessions, after 3 weeks without training. So, and every day he passes will be better. Yeah.
Hi, Pep. I just wondered if I can talk to you a little bit about the welfare of your players. How big a test is it now of your man management to make sure that everybody's okay? Because as you said a couple of minutes ago, everybody wants to play in these games now. But I'm guessing you've got to be mindful of Arsenal on Wednesday.
No. I said we have 4 days. Have one more day than we have now. These 3 days. We'd have loved to play on Sunday, but I understand. So United played yesterday, so that's why he had to play on Sunday. So, but I think for big experience. So when the past Amir rotate the team, it was not for the next game we play FA Cup semi-final, just for the fact the fatigue we had Atletico Madrid last season or Dortmund the 2 seasons ago. Like every time was away and every time was after a demanding games. That was the reason why. And I have to evaluate with my staff, backroom staff, what is the best.
And victory, of course, would take you into another final. Do you get the sense that amongst your players and your staff, is there a level of excitement starting to build up because you're getting closer and closer to what will be a very special achievement, maybe winning 3 trophies?
I'm so happy that you spent 10 questions before the first question about the treble. So it was so nice. So it's because the other journalists are not in the sky. So that might be the reason why. So we will start to talk to the treble when you won the Premier League and after we won the FA Cup before the final of the Champions League. Look how far away to start to talk about that.
But it's just 11 games, not long.
No, just 11 games. Yeah. Just 11 games.
Finish with the ends with embargo.
We're far away, so it's. I said many times, how many times in this amazing country trebles have done? How many years?
That's why we get so excited about it. That's why we
how
get
many
so
times
excited.
is one?
Yeah.
Our neighbors, they did it. Say how many centuries. So we are more closer to don't do it than do it. So the best is focus. If you have enough legs for tomorrow, to compete against Sheffield United.
But you're getting excited, just
About the treble, not at all.
thank you.
Cheers. First question, you said you were so exhausted or so fatigued that you weren't even able to celebrate in the dressing room after Munich. Can you elaborate a bit? How was the atmosphere right then?
Incredible, satisfied, happy to be in the semi-final of the Champions League for 3 years in a row. And the people sit down, talk a little bit, they start to drink, regeneration drinks, and use the phones, hug each other, and put a little bit music, that's all. We didn't dance, we didn't take photos, we didn't do anything special.
You had to wait quite some time for the first Erling question today as well, but here it comes. We've gone through all of Erling's goals for City this year, and we found that the one against Munich now on Wednesday was the first time that it used 3 touches before the finish in a goal involvement. Because he usually scores on the first touch on every goal involvement. And I want to ask you, Mr. Guardiola, how do you explain that Haaland uses so few touches on the direct goal involvement?
It's football. Football sometimes you do 1 touch, 2 touches, 3 touches, 10 touches. It's not a program, you know. Artificial intelligence. No, it's not like you guide. Do you know what is touches? Do you know why? Because Upamecano liberated.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And
but
before the game, I said Erling in the 65, 70 minutes, Upamecano will sleep, and you can do 3 touches and you can score goals. So this is going to happen. So sometimes it's 1 touch, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. So it's not, I don't know what is the situation.
But it is a big difference from when he played in Dortmund, when he used to have much more touches in every goal involvement. So something has changed.
No. So a striker sometimes, listen, the best way to score a goal is the first touch, because it's unexpected, because it's the quicker, because the referee, the keeper is not ready, the defenders either. But sometimes you need the touches that you need, because the situation dictate what you have to do. It's not all the time is like that. You make counter-attacks because the situation demands they use it, you don't have it, and it's simple as that.
Embargo for 10:30 this evening, please, guys. Somewhere to start.